Welcome to Yoga, You and Judy. I am Judy. Our focus today is on building inner strength and confidence. So we will be choosing poses and sequences that activate our inner power, which will help us to increase resilience and also deal better with any obstacles we might be experiencing in life. So many of the poses will activate our core to build a really strong brace around our upper body. But of course, we will also combine the core strengthening exercises and postures with a steady base. So we'll start to build our poses from the bottom up to ensure that we are steady in our postures, and we'll also add some balancing elements to ensure we don't neglect our sense of balance. With that said, let's get started. We start in Vajrasana, our thunderbolt pose. So your knees are together, feet just slightly apart, and your sitting bones are resting on the inside of your heels. And we're going to start with a gentle breathing exercise where we're just going to take really deep belly breaths. So inhale, and as you inhale, you feel your belly inflate, and as you exhale, you push all the air out of you and your belly button is drawing towards your spine, and you like shrink together all of your whole body. So let's just do that a few times. So breathing in, expanding your belly, everything expands. Breathing out, shrinking your belly, pushing all the air out of you. And just keep doing that for a few moments. And every time you inhale, imagine the expansion to all sides as your way of expressing your confidence and letting your confidence shine outwards every time you breathe in. And then imagine the strength of your exhale as your way of pushing out the air, of filling the environment with your presence. And then taking one more deep inhale, expanding your belly, expanding all of your body. And one more exhale, shrinking your body, pulling the belly button towards the spine and pushing all the air out of you. Nice. And then from here, we are starting with a joint mobilization to wake up all our joints and activate them. So first, let's come into a wide-legged child's pose. So our knees are slightly apart, about mat width distance apart, and our sitting bones are pressing towards our heels as we stretch our body forward. Come onto your fingertips, let your forehead sink to the floor, and just feel that really nice stretch in your lower back as you push your buttocks towards your heels. And again, let's take some deep belly breaths here. On your next inhale, walk your hands over towards the right, and again push your buttocks towards your heels and let your body sink down, feeling a nice stretch on the left side of your body. Deep belly breathing. And then inhaling your hands over towards the left, and again buttocks pushing towards the heels, upper body sinking forward, and enjoy this nice stretch on the right side of your body. Breathing into your belly. And on your next inhale, back to center, and bring yourself back up into a seated position. And we're now going to continue to stretch out the sides of our body a bit more, warming up our shoulders. And then we bring our right hand down slightly behind your right buttock, and then we sweep our left arm over our knees from left to right, pushing our hips up and coming into this nice side stretch. And left hand down, right hand up, pushing your hips upwards. And we're going to do that a few times. Inhale and exhale as you sweep over. Inhale as you lengthen. Exhale back down. Inhale, pushing up. Exhale down, and the last one. Inhaling up, exhaling down. And now let's continue with our arm activation and with our wrist activation. So we're coming into a tabletop position, and your shoulders are over your wrists, your hips are over your knees, and we're just drawing small circles across our wrists. So just go as far as it feels comfortable, shifting your body back and to the side a bit, gently exploring the range of motion in our wrists. And then reverse that, going into the other direction. And then let's sit back on our heels and just roll our wrists a little bit. So just draw a few circles in each direction to continue warming up your wrists. And we'll continue activating our hip joints. So coming back into tabletop, again, check your alignment, shoulders over wrists and the hips over your knees, and we're going to draw some hip circles. So lifting your right knee up, and then just draw some nice circles with your knee, and that activates and mobilizes your hip joint on the right hand side. Let's reverse that circle, and trying to keep your body stable apart from the circling of your hip joint. And then release back down, and we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So left leg goes up, and we start our hip circles. Nice big circles. And continue your steady breathing as you do that. Reverse the circles, keeping the rest of your body as still as you can. And place it back down. And now we're going to mobilize our spine a bit with some cat-cow stretches. So on an inhale, Arch your back, look up. Exhale, round your back and push the floor away, pressing into all parts of your hands. Inhale, arch. Exhale, round. Inhale. And exhale. And coming back, neutral spine, and sit back onto your heels for a moment. We're going to do some very gentle twisting. So breathing our arms up, I'm going to turn towards you, breathing our arms up, and on an exhale, right hand behind, left hand outside of the right knee, and we twist to the right. On an inhale, we grow taller. On an exhale, we gently twist a bit further. And then inhaling our arms back up, and we'll go to the other side. Left hand behind, right hand outside the left knee. Inhale, growing taller. Exhale, twist to the left. Inhaling, both arms up, exhale, release. So we're going to continue our warm-up with a few rounds of sun salutations to really get a bit of heat going in our bodies. So if you'd like to come to the front of your mat, you can keep your feet apart for the first round, and you want to make sure that the outer edges of your feet are parallel, both of them facing forward, which naturally means that your toes are slightly pointing towards each other. So first, let's find a strong base standing here, our feet pushing firmly into the ground, with our heels firmly in the ground and the mounts of our feet firmly planted into the floor, and your inner thighs roll slightly inward, which gives you that nice stable posture, and your shoulders away from your ears. And just take one nice full breath here. And then on an inhale, bring the arms up. Exhale, bend forward, straight back, but keep your knees slightly bent. Inhale, halfway lift. And on an exhale, you step your right foot back, your left foot back, and then lowering your knees, arch your back, chest and chin to the floor. Inhale as you sweep your body up into cobra, and exhale into downward facing dog. Let's just warm up the feet here a little bit, the backs of our legs, and just gently walk one leg, then the other, bend one knee, then the other, and maybe twist a bit side to side, which gives a lovely stretch to the outside of your legs. And then from here, on an inhale, step your right leg forward, left leg forward, coming all the way up with a straight back, and diving back down. Halfway lift on an inhale. Exhale, step your left leg back, then the right one, lowering your knees, lowering your body down to the floor. Inhale into cobra, and exhale back to downward facing dog. Taking a few nice breaths here. And on your next inhale, step your left leg forward, right leg forward, coming all the way up with a straight back, and exhale the arms down. Again, for the next round, you can keep your feet slightly apart and also slightly bend your knees as you bend forward as we're still warming up. So inhaling your arms up, exhale, fold forward, inhale, halfway lift, exhale your right leg back, left leg back, lowering your knees, arch your back and slowly lower yourself down, elbows close to the body, inhale into cobra, exhale into downward facing dog. Inhaling your right leg forward, left leg forward, coming all the way up with a straight back, and exhaling right back down. Inhale halfway, exhale, step back left, right, lowering knees, body to the floor, inhale into cobra, exhale back to downward facing dog. Stepping the left leg forward, right leg, and coming all the way up with a straight back. Exhaling back into standing. We're going to do one more round, and this time we're going to flow through chaturanga. So we're trying to lower ourselves all the way down without dropping our knees to the floor. So let's try that. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Plant your hands, and on an exhale, you jump back into chaturanga. Inhale into upward facing dog. Exhale into downward facing dog. And we're going to take 3 breaths here. Pushing into your hands and really lengthening your spine, pulling your tailbone all the way up. And then on an inhale, bend your knees. Exhale as you jump forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, coming all the way up. And exhale your hands back down into standing. And just take a few more nice breaths here. And we are now going to start the more flowing part of our sequence today. So back to the front of your mat, the outside of your feet parallel, pointing forward, and the shoulders away from the ears, thighs slightly pulling inward. And then on an inhale, we sink our hips down, coming into a chair position, keeping your back straight, and the weight is in your feet. And then on an inhale, we come onto our toes. Exhale down. Inhale onto our toes. Exhale down. Inhale onto your toes. And exhale down. One more inhale here, lengthening. And on an exhale, fold forwards. And we're coming right back into our chair on an inhale. Taking one breath here. And then bringing our hands together in front of heart center. And we're going to come into a gentle twist. Starting off twisting to the left on an exhale, right elbow outside the right knee, the left knee, apologies. Inhale back to center. Exhale over to the right. And you want to make sure that your knees stay level. Inhale back to center. Folding down on an exhale. Inhale, halfway lift. And on your exhale, jumping back through chaturanga. into upward facing dog, and back into downward facing dog. And we're going to take 3 deep breaths here. Keep your spine long, your tailbone pulling up, and your thigh muscles are engaged, which will help you to reach your heels towards the floor, but you don't have to reach. And then on your next inhale, we shift forward into plank pose. One strong line, nice and straight from your head to your heels, and your shoulders are over your wrists, and you push the floor away with your whole hand, not just with the palm of your hand, but all your fingers are gripping into the mat. Exhale back into downward facing dog. Going to repeat that a few times. Inhale forward into plank. Exhale back. Inhale into plank. Exhale back. And on the next inhale, we bring our knees down and we just sit back on our heels for a moment, just taking a brief rest here. You can circle your shoulders a bit, rolling out your shoulders, or you can spend a moment in child's pose, whatever works best for you. And then we continue with some core strengthening exercises. So we're coming back into tabletop, hips over your knees and your shoulders over your wrists. And first we're going to come into a balancing posture. So the right leg goes back, and on an inhale we lift it up, trying to get it parallel to the floor and keep the rest of your body stable. So you want to drop your right hip a little bit in order to keep your hips level and parallel to the floor. And then we stretch out the left arm, and on an inhale we pull our belly button to our spine. Hand and heel are reaching as if they're trying to reach the walls on either side. Take one more inhale, lengthening, and on an exhale bring together knee and elbow. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, lengthen. And on your exhale, you put your left hand down, you tuck your right toe, and then you lift your left knee up, pull it towards your upper body, and hold it for a moment, and then you release back into tabletop, and we'll repeat that sequence on the other hand straight away. So left leg reaches back, lifting it up parallel to the floor. Let's drop the left hip a little bit to keep the hips level with the floor. Right hand reaches forward. Inhale as you lengthen. Exhale, pulling together knee and elbow. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, pull it together. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, pull it together. Lengthen it once more, and then the right hand comes down. Tuck your left foot and push yourself up so that your right knee pulls into your chest. Just hold that for a moment. And lower back down into tabletop, and we'll take a child's pose here. You can either have the arms stretched alongside your body or in front, whatever you feel more comfortable with at the moment. And on your next inhale, coming back up, and we're going to step our right leg forward, coming into a low lunge with the right knee above your ankle. So you might need to move your front foot a bit further forward, shuffle your back leg a bit further back, and then you pull your belly button to your spine. So you don't want to collapse forward, but you want to keep your body upright, and then you sink forward into your low lunge, inhaling your arms up. And on each inhale, you pull yourself up towards the ceiling, lengthen your body, while your inner thighs are trying to pull together, giving you the stability you need. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, sink a bit deeper. And then on your next exhale, you shift your body back, flex your right foot, and bend over your right leg with a straight spine. Taking a few breaths here, and that gives you a really nice stretch on the back side of your right leg. On your next inhale, coming back into low lunge, and we'll do that dynamically for a few times. Exhale, shift back. Inhale, low lunge. Exhale, half splits. Inhale, low lunge. And once more back into your half splits. And this time we're going to add a little twist. So your left hand goes next to your right leg, your right foot, and then we twist ourselves open to the right. And back down, shifting forward, coming back briefly into tabletop, and then we are stretching our right leg out to the side so that the right heel is in line with the right knee. Pulling our belly button into our spine, nice straight back, and then we slide the right arm down the right leg, left arm pulling towards the right, coming into a nice side stretch. Inhaling back up, placing the left hand in front, our right leg lifts up, bends around, and we're taking our right ankle into our right hand. This is quite a challenging balancing pose, and we're opening our body up towards the right, trying to find stability in this pose. And then release back down. Sit back on your heels briefly, and then we're going to repeat the whole sequence on the other side. So back into tabletop. This time the left leg comes forward, and again knee above ankle. So you might need to shift your legs a bit to achieve that. And then belly button pulling towards the spine so that our body is upright. Then we sink deeper, and we keep our stability by pulling our inner thighs together. Inhale, coming up, and every time we inhale we grow a bit taller, and every time we exhale we sink a bit deeper. And you might have to pull back your left hip a little bit and push your right hip forward to keep your alignment. One more inhale, and on an exhale we shift back, flexing our left foot straight back and just folding our upper body over our left leg. we're going to repeat the sequence dynamically a few times. So inhale, coming into your low lunge. Exhale, shift back, fold. Inhale, low lunge. Exhale, half splits. Inhale, low lunge, last time. And exhale into our half splits. Placing the right hand on the floor and twisting open to the left. And inhaling back down, bringing the left knee briefly back to the floor, and then stretching the leg out to the side so that the left heel is in line with the left knee. Left hand slides down the left leg as the right hand stretches overhead and the chest is turning upwards for a nice side stretch. Inhaling back up, and we're trying our balancing pose here as well. So right hand comes down, we are lifting our left leg back, and then we're trying to hold our left ankle with our left hand, opening up the front of the body, coming into a slight back bend, and trying to hold our balance here. And then slowly release, coming back into tabletop and sitting back onto your heels. And just breathe a few times, taking nice deep belly breaths once again. And then we are going to come into a seated position. So put your hands further forward, come onto your toes, and very slowly bring yourself into a seated position, lifting your legs, coming into boat pose. So we're going to strengthen our core a bit, our thighs, and then just a few more moments. And then we're going to take our hands behind our upper legs, and we're going to roll forwards and back a bit and come into a standing position to the front of our mat. And we're just going to relax for a while, taking some deep breaths here. We are going to add a few balancing sequences at that point. So we're starting with the tree pose. If you firmly plant your left foot into the ground, the outer edge of your foot parallel to the mat, so that gives you the stability and also protects your knee in this posture. And then on an inhale, we bring our foot anywhere along our leg, either by the shin or on the inside of your thigh, as long as you avoid putting it on your knee. Your left inner thigh is pushing towards the right foot, and your right hip is dropping down a bit. And then bring your hands together in front of the heart, find your balance. And once you feel you found your balance, you can lift your arms up, or you can stay as you are and just take a few breaths in this tree pose. And then hands back in front of heart center, lifting the right knee, and we're going to try a transition to warrior 3. So on an exhale, slowly bending your upper body forward, stretching your leg back, coming into a warrior 3 position, taking a few breaths here. And then on our next exhale, we gently step back into warrior 1, reverse. And then coming back, stepping the right foot forward, back into a standing pose. So we're going to do that same sequence on the other side. You might need to step forward a little bit. So this time we start with our tree pose on the right, balancing on the right foot. So the outside of your right foot is parallel to the mat. Find your strong, steady stand. And then inhale your foot either to the inside of your right thigh, or you can put it on your lower leg, as long as you avoid putting it onto your knee. So find your balance here, bringing your hands together, dropping the left hip down slightly. And if you find your balance here, you can reach your arms up, or you can keep your hands in prayer. Taking a few breaths. And then hands back in front of heart center, left knee coming forward, and again we transition to warrior 3. Wobbles definitely allowed in that, and just hold that for a moment. Focus your gaze on a point on the floor, helps you keep your balance. And then on your next exhale, gently step back into warrior 1 and reverse it. And then inhaling back, left leg forward, coming back into our standing position. And again, we're going to take a few breaths here to just calm down our heart rate. And on your next inhale, step your left foot back, bringing it parallel to the short end of your mat, front foot facing forward, coming into warrior 2, and our alignment is front heel to back arch. So find this alignment first, sink forward, your right knee is pulling towards the right, and you bring your arms out. Your inner thighs are pulling together, giving you the stability you need, and you push equally into your front heel and into your back foot, finding a strong, steady pose in your warrior 2. Your belly button is pulling towards your spine, giving you further stability through a strong core, and we move the shoulders away from the ears, and we're taking 3 breaths here. It always seems like an easy posture, but once you engage all the muscles, it's actually quite hard to hold that pose for a long time. And then inhaling, straighten the front leg, turn both feet to be parallel to each other, and then we just move the heels in slightly so that our toes pointing outward, and then we are sinking down into a goddess pose, weight in the heels, back straight, inhaling, our arms up, and on an exhale, right arm crosses under left, and we bring our arms into eagle pose. As we sink a bit deeper into our goddess pose, we push our elbows forward. Inhaling back up, arms coming out in a T. Your right foot turns to be parallel to the short end of your mat. Front foot might need to shuffle forward a bit. And we're sinking down into our warrior two on the other side. Again, take care of your alignment. So front heel to back arch, and the left knee is pointing towards the left, inner thighs pulling together, and the shoulders away from the ears, belly button pulling to the spine. And again, we're just going to take a few breaths here. And on your next inhale, straighten the front leg, turning your feet parallel again. Heels slightly in so that your toes are pointing outward. And then we're going to sink back down into our goddess pose, a bit more strength in our thighs. This time the left arm crosses underneath the right, coming into eagle arms and sinking down a bit further as your elbows are pulling forward. And then release, inhaling back up and coming back into our original pose at the beginning of the mat. Let's take a few breaths here before we go through another vinyasa flow. And when you're ready, we're going to inhale our arms up. Exhale, fold forward with a straight back. Inhale up. Exhale, plant your hands. Come through chaturanga into upward facing dog. And back into downward dog on an exhale. Take one full breath here. And on your next exhale, shift forward into plank. And we're going to turn our plank to the side. So first twisting towards the right. Right hand strongly pushing the floor away. Left hand coming straight up. And that is a great exercise for both your shoulders and for your core. And just hold that for a moment. Back into plank, and we're going to turn it over to the other side, rolling onto your left foot. Right hand stretches up, left hand firmly pushes the floor away. And back into plank pose, and then from here we're going to lower all the way down to the floor through chaturanga. So exhale, coming forward, bend your elbows and slowly lower all the way to the floor. Make a little pillow with your hands and just rest your forehead on that for a moment. And then once you're ready, let's push ourselves up slightly, bringing our knees even wider than mat width distance, coming into a frog pose, and then very slowly sinking our hips back. We can rest on our forearms, our feet are flexed pointing outward, the lower legs are parallel towards each other, and then we're sinking down into our frog pose, giving us a nice stretch on the inside of our thighs. then gently coming up, bringing our knees together and taking one short rest in child's pose before we go into our cool down. Coming back up on an inhale, and then we're going to bring our feet forward for another gentle back bend in our bridge pose. So place your heels in front of your buttocks and then lower your body all the way down. Your hands want to be able to reach your ankles roughly, and then again make sure that the outsides of your feet are parallel to each other, pointing forward, so your toes naturally point towards each other slightly. And then on an inhale, let's push our hips up, pushing into our heels. Bring your hands together underneath you. Shuffle your shoulders inward. Keep your chin away from your chest, so don't over tuck it. And then just breathe into this nice gentle back bend. With every inhale, pushing your hips up a bit further. With every exhale, release and relax into the pose. And just for a little bit of extra strength, given this is all about inner strength and confidence, let's lift our left leg up. Push into that right heel like crazy. Lower it down. Keep your hips up. And let's lift the right leg up. Push into that left heel. Lower it down. One last push. And then very slowly roll back down. Pulling your knees into your chest. And just giving yourself a moment of rest, maybe rolling gently from side to side. And then for a gentle inversion, let's come into our shoulder stand. So bring your legs up, gently lift yourself off the mat, placing your hands underneath or behind your lower back for support, and then try and get your alignment where your heels are over your knees, over your hips, and just enjoy this gentle inversion for a few breaths. And then gently lower your legs behind you, bringing them apart. And with your hands, you reach your big toe, holding onto it, coming into Supta Konasana, and just keep your neck still in this position. Do not twist your head. And again, just relax. And then very gently place your hands back on your lower back for support, and very slowly and gently roll yourself back down. Bring your arms out in a T shape. Shuffle your body slightly over to the right, pulling in your knees and letting them drop to the left. Your gaze over to your right, keeping both shoulders firmly on the floor. Enjoying this nice spinal twist. And then breathing your knees back up. Place your feet down. Shuffle your body over to the left. Knees in and gently let them sink down to the right. Keeping your shoulders on the floor and turning your gaze over to the left. And then inhaling your knees back up and come into your final resting pose. So your legs about hip width distance apart, your arms by your side, palms facing up. You might need to shift your hips a bit side to side to find a good pose. And then just come and relax into your final resting pose, gently closing your eyes and start feeling the effect of your practice. Feel your body relax. Feel your feet relax, your ankles, your legs, your hips, your spine, shoulders, arms, fingers, neck, your face. Feel the softness in your body from your toes to the crown of your head. Feel the heat you created in your core. Feel the inner strength you have developed, both physically and mentally. Let that strength carry you in your actions, in your decisions, and bringing to life the confidence and the assertiveness that you already carry inside yourself. Take 3 more deep breaths. And now gently start moving your toes, your fingers, maybe turning your neck gently side to side. And then very slowly come into an easy seated position, keeping your eyes closed. And now let's take one final breath together. Inhale, breathing your arms up overhead. Exhale, bringing your hands together in front of your heart, taking your chin down. And then gently open your eyes. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. I hope you enjoyed your class. If you did, please subscribe to Yoga, You and Judy, and I hope to see you again very soon. Have a beautiful day.